Okay, so here we are at the end of the Entrelac pattern. I've gone ahead and worked back left to right so that I can show you how to do this top triangle, close this out. Now there's two options. You can bind off here, or you can leave the stitches on the needle that you can then create a new pattern, another part of the pattern, so if you want to do it that. So I'll show you how to bind off, and then I'll do it again for you and show you how to leave those stitches on the hook, because it's relatively simple to do that. So I've gone through, as I said, and I've stitched back left to right. And then we had the right side triangle, and as you know, when we get to the end of that, there's always one stitch that remains. And I picked up the other 9. So now I'm going to work off of the double pointed needle. So I'm going to slip that stitch that was left anyway, and I'm going to knit the rest of the brown, which will be knit 9. And I think I have 1 extra, but that's okay. I think I picked up 2 when I meant to pick up 1. Okay, there's knit 9. Okay, so we should have 10, 2, 4, 6, 8. Nope, we don't. I miscounted. Now we'll have 10. And I'll just go to the back of that one like I did the other ones. Okay, so now we're going to slip 1 and purl 9. And when we get back to that slip 1, we're going to do the knit decrease, which is slip 1, knit 1, pass it back over. And then on the subsequent rows, as you come back on the purl side, you're going to purl 2 together at the end. And if you were not binding it off, then you would hold those stitches on there. Okay, so now we want to knit 9. And that last one we're going to slip. Okay, so there's that last one, that 10th stitch, we're going to slip that. We're going to knit the next stitch. And then we're going to pass that last stitch over. And then I'm going to slip the first purl stitch, and again I'm going to close this one off. So when I get to the last 2 purl stitches, I'm going to purl 2 together, and that will start the bind off process. Okay, so 2 together, I'm going to purl those, and then again I'm going to knit. And this time I'm only going to knit 8, so I'm reducing it by 1 each time. Then I'm going to slip that last one, and then go in 1 to the other color, and then pass that slip over. So that's that knit decrease. And then I'm going to slip 1 purlwise. I'm going to purl to the last 2, and then I'm going to purl 2 together. And so you can kind of see it starting to bind off right there, because there's the triangle, and now I'm binding it off. So we'll knit down to the last one, which will slip. And then we'll knit and we'll pass it over. We'll slip purlwise, and then we'll purl 2 together. And I'm back to knit again. slip that last one up and over. And then rather than making you sit through the next triangle, why don't I just keep these stitches on going forward? So what you'll see here is your natural bind off, and that's that purl two together, and that's what causes that to happen. So this time what we'll do, instead of purl two together at the last, we'll just keep the last stitch on the needle unworked, and each row we'll have to remember that we're less that one stitch. So we're gonna slip on purlwise. We're going to go to the last two, which we would purl together, but we're not. We're just going to purl one and leave that last stitch on the hook. And then we're going to knit back again. And we'll slip that one, knit this one, pass it over, slip the first purl. Now we're going to leave the last two unworked because we just left the last one unworked. That's better because then you don't have to sit and watch me do the whole thing. Okay, so knit these down to the last one again. And yarn over. Now we're going to have three, slip one, and we're going to have three unworked. And you can use a stitch marker if you're worried about not remembering, because it's easy to go past. And it's going to look a little odd the way I've finished half of it and not finish the other half. Okay, so now we're going to do four. Unworked. And then we're going to knit, slip, stitch. Now we'll do five unworked. Oops, slip, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, knit one, or purl one, I mean. Hopefully the math will come out, and I think it will. Because now we're going to do six unworked. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we're just going to slip that one off anyway, so let's just purl there, knit that next one and wrap it over. Okay, so then what you have is two options on that closed triangle at the top. You can either bind it off by doing purl two together at every right side, or you can work it to keep them on the needle. You'll just work up to the last one, then work up to the second last one, then work up to the third. So those are your two options. If you wanted to, you know, make this as a border of a scarf, if it were smaller, you could definitely do that with keeping those stitches on those top triangles, to give you an idea how to do it. So that's it in a nutshell. We've actually gone through all the different steps, and just to recap, let's see, yeah, I won't recap.